be joining us because we're going live, so I appreciate that. I appreciate each one of you. I do ask you to remember those in prayer that are, some are afraid to come in, afraid they'll take the virus to someone else, and some are afraid they'll give it to someone else. So you just pray for each one and just enjoy our service together. I know there's several in the parking lot, some have been here for a while, and it's good to see them out there. It's good to see you in the house of the Lord. Good to have our visitors, always good to have them. So you be much in prayer. And I've asked Brother Mason if he will sing for us this morning. I called him and I didn't realize it's quite as early as it was, and I was afraid he was still meeting after he didn't answer, but he said he wasn't. But anyhow, you pray for Mason Goodman as he comes to sing for us. Come on.
Trying to do a couple songs, maybe they'll be a blessing to you. I'll pray for me and haven't practiced much lately, so. First thing I try to do is, he must have loved me a lot.
Amen.
He left the splendors of heaven
job, Eddie. I appreciate it, love you, and appreciate it very much. And, took the week off, and not plumb off, but well, maybe sometimes I ain't plumb off, maybe we put it that way. But I was, the fifth Sunday, I usually let somebody else fill in, so Brother Eddie was kind enough to do it for me. Appreciate it, and I appreciate you as the church helping me out do different stuff that we have. I want you to turn with us this morning, if you will, in the 28th chapter of 1 Chronicles, and I'm going to share with you something maybe that I've had on my mind, and I know a lot of preachers have, and have made a lot of comments about it. I having problems with my allergies this morning. I got up and thought I was doing good when I sat on the porch, and now she's talking to me, so you pray for us as we share with you, but sometimes we get the idea if we're a Christian, nothing bad is ever supposed to come our way. There's a scripture, and I'm not going to read it for time's sake, but I want to share with you a little bit. There was a time there I wasn't crying. And he said it was not a sickness unto death, but a sickness unto God's glory. Bad things do come to us as Christians. We do go through things. Our country has just went through something like I have never saw or never read anything about. And I believe sometimes God allows things to help us to see what we need to be and what we need to be doing. And I believe this is maybe part of what's happening today. I know that people some are being careful. I understand that. I know that some take care of their family, and they have to be careful. But folks, I tell you what, God can help us in all of our situations by faith if we'll trust Him. Now, I don't know what I'll go through, and neither do you, but I know God's always on the throne. So I want us to trust God and put our trust in Him. But I wanted to share with you a little bit this morning on are we really accomplishing what God had in mind for us as a Christian to accomplish. Now, I know there are a lot of men in the Bible that could accomplish much more if their life had been lived different. You and I, probably, there are things that we have never reached the potential God had in mind for us, because sometimes we don't really trust God and walk with God like we should. David, a man after God's own heart, by God's own admission, never got to do all the things he wanted to do. And that's what I'm going to read to you about in just a moment. He had a desire to build the temple that is in Jerusalem. The original temple, not the one that's there now, but the original temple that Solomon built. David had a desire to build it. But because of David's life, he never reached the potential of doing what he wanted to. Sometimes you and I maybe don't accomplish all we want to, maybe because of something in our life, and maybe it wasn't exactly God's will. I believe as much as anything, David, a great psalmist, was moved from a shepherd boy on the cot out in the backside of the desert with the sheep. David said he took me from the shepherd's cot and put him in the palace. That's a pretty long ways that God took him. God's took some of us a long ways. Myself personally, God's took me a lot further than I ever thought I would go, and used me much more than I ever thought He would.
Amen.
In March of 1972, God called us. Well, He'd been calling for a couple of years, but I surrendered the call to preach. My prayer was, God, if I'm going to do this, I want you to take me and use me. I've been pastoring 48 years. How's that? took me a lot of miles and traveled a lot of places and shared the message with a lot of people. But I maybe, if I would have yielded earlier, maybe done more God wanted me to, I could accomplish more. Where are we coming up short? There were a lot of men in the Bible never reached the potential that God had in mind for them. I believe David was reached what God wanted him to do. I believe he had done it, but didn't get to do all he wanted to. Sometimes we don't get to do all we want to. Maybe I'm not privileged to do all I want to, and you may not either, but may it not have been God's will. Then again, it could have been God's will if we'd have been more obedient and have done that God wanted us to. In the 28th chapter of 1 Chronicles, I want to read the 3rd verse. I'm going to read the 2nd and the 3rd. Let me read these to you and get you to see something, and then I'm going to flip back just a little bit. David's talking about building the temple that was Solomon built. Now, folks, it was something from what I saw from the foundation. When I walked through the tunnel that they've excavated out along the temple wall, it would almost blow your mind what they did in the day that Solomon built it. But the thing about it was, all these materials David had provided. He wanted to build a temple, and God said he couldn't, and that's what I'm going to read it to you about. He had done some things that robbed him of the privilege of building the temple, but he allowed him to gather the stuff together. God allows us to do a lot of things. I may not see the end, and you may not. But if we do what God calls us to do and be faithful to God, then we're going to see things accomplished. We may not see it, but it may follow after. The Bible talks about those that die in Christ, their works do follow after. Church, I believe we need to be conscious of trying to do everything we can for God while God gives us time. In the 28th chapter of 1 Chronicles, it reads like this, in the 2nd verse. Then David the king stood up on his feet and said, Hear me, look at it again, hear me, my brethren, and my people. As for me, I had in my heart to build the house, rest for the house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for the footstool of our God, and hath made ready for the building. David said, I've done all I could. I've gathered it up. I've brought it together. Wonder how many of us as God's people can say, we did all we could do for God. Or how many of us are coming away short. We may be doing little things, but are we really accomplishing the job that God has for us to do? Have we reached our potential? Are we striving to reach our potential? Or are we neglecting God? I believe as much as anything, what's happened today in our land, the pandemic that's came through, has wanted to reach the church to reach out the outside the wall, not just be a church inside, but to be a church outside, sharing and reaching our potential, reaching people for Christ. We've sort of neglected it. We were self-satisfied. Oh yeah, we'll be faithful to the house of God. We'll do our best to pay our tithes. We'll do all of these things. But then when we go out the door, we're forgetting sometimes what God had for us to do outside and what he wants us to be doing for him. We're not reaching our potential. We're just and forgive me for saying it, but we're Sunday morning Christians. Maybe Wednesday night or Thursday night when we come, or Sunday night. But we're not really reaching out and touching the lives of those around us that we have potential to reach. Now David said, I had a desire to do more. But he said, I've done what I could. I've got it together. Third verse. But God said unto me, Thou shalt not build a house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war, and hast shed blood. David, and as I said, I believe God wanted him to be. God said he could raise up and sit on the throne who he would. He could take down those that was on it. Many of the men in the Bible that rose up, let me say this, Saul could have been a great man for God, could have ruled for many years. Jealousy of David cost him the throne. I look at our land today. Well, I'm going to say this, and people may disagree with me, but that's okay. Our president, I believe God's put him where he's at for the time that it's at hand. He stood for the church. He's done more for God and the Bible in his stand in his office than any president I've ever been privileged to live under. And I've saw quite a few. When we see this potential that we, if he stands in his position, are we standing in ours?
Amen.
Are we doing what God wants us to do? I hope you pray for our president. I hope you pray and support what he's doing, because he's doing things to uplift God's name. And folks, we need to stand with him and pray for him. The Bible said that he set up who he would to be king. Saul could have been a great king. He was God's man for the hour because God chose him and had him anointed. But due to jealousy of David, he lost the throne. You and I can lose our potential by things we do. As I said, I believe that God wanted David and folk from the time that he went as a shepherd boy to his brothers on the battlefield, and Goliath was defiling the army of God and defiling God's name. I believe God chose him that day to be the ruler of his people. And when he slayed Goliath, that meant he had shed blood. He could not build the house of God. It had to be his son Solomon to do it. But he was trying his best to get everything together. You and I as a church ought to be trying our best to get things together that would bring honor and glory to God. David said, I want to build him a place. Now, if you go back to the 15th chapter of 1 Chronicles, you'll find that David went down and brought the Ark of the Covenant up. He was concerned about it because it represented God and God's people. He brought it up. It was brought to Jerusalem, put in a tent or a tabernacle, and was rested there. And David said, I want to build a place for it to be. But God said no. Sometimes God tells us no when we want to do things. Sometimes God's got something better in mind. He had used David in such a manner, and he had better things in mind than David thought he had. David maybe had his mind set on one goal and wasn't seeing what God had for him to do. You and I as the church today, if we're not careful, we can get the wrong goals in mind. We get almost the phrase today, and I think a lot about it, is we have our tunnel vision. We only see one tribe. God sees the whole picture. God's wanting us to do what he wants us to do when he wants to. Now, there were several men in the Bible that never reached their potential because they made mistakes and didn't do like God told them to. God help us as a church that we reach our potential and not let things hinder us from doing it. Now, if you look at Moses for a moment. Moses, the great man. Now, I look at Moses and I know God called him. I know Moses had a call from God to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt up into the promised land. I know that he left the people, and be careful, folks. We can be swayed by those that are unbelievers. When they came to the river of Jordan and they sent 12 spies over, they were 2 of them said, we can take the land, but 10 said no. Church, always pray about it. Don't just say we can't do this. Through God's help, all things are possible. Right. If Moses had listened to Caleb and Joshua and across the Jordan, God had already told them, I'll give you the land. They didn't have to send spies over. God said, I'll give it to you, land that you didn't. I'll give you vineyards you didn't plant. I'll give you lands you didn't till. I'll give you all wells that you didn't dig. I'll give you all of these things. Moses already had the victory. But due to unbelief in the people, he allowed spies to go in and check it out. And they brought back a bad report, and they didn't walk. Because of that, it cost Moses not to get to go to the promised land because he forgot and didn't obey God and do what God told him. Sometimes you and I get off in a desert or we get off in a wilderness. Instead of being obedient to God, we do what we want to do. When God told Moses when the children of Israel were coming out of Mount Horeb, they had come across Mount Horeb, and they were thirsty and there was no water to drink. And God had already told Moses once to strike the rock with his rod, and water came forth. They watered themselves and gathered water, watered their beasts and all of that. Second time they murmured. God told him and Aaron said, they sought the face of God and they prayed. God said, don't strike it, speak to it, and the water will come forth. But in a moment of anger, I think Moses was almost angry with the people because they were complaining and murmuring continuously. He smote the rock the second time. God said, because of that, you can't go in. If you'd have brought me glory by just speaking to the rock and let the water come out, you could have went in, but you made it your way. You've done it the way you wanted to, and God was not pleased with it. Sometimes things you and I do may not seem so bad, but at the same time, they're not what God wants us to do, and it costs us. We don't reach our potential. Moses could have been the great leader that Joshua took the children of Israel into the promised land, marched against Jericho, the walls fell. God showed him that by faith, if they trust God, they could accomplish the will of God. You and I can accomplish things if we'll listen to God and walk in the will of God. We can reach our potential. We can reach those things that God wants us to do. That doesn't matter how big it seems. It doesn't matter what the price tag is in it. If it's God's will and we'll walk with God, we can accomplish it. Joshua and Caleb, as they went across, proved it could be done. Moses, due to his unbelief in striking the rock, got to look over. God took him on the mountain and let him look over the promised land, but he never got to go over it. Some of us are missing the blessings God has for us because we're not trusting God and doing as God would have us do. Then I mentioned King Saul a moment ago. Now, folks, let me tell you something. He was called, he was anointed by God. David said, touch not the anointing of God. David knew he was God's anointed. But Saul, due to jealousy, missed his potential. Be careful what we're jealous of. He never really understood the love that David had for him and Jonathan. I don't think he could have ever saw the potential, how much David loved him, unless he could have saw when he took Mephibosheth into him, a young boy that was, his nurse fell on him and he was crippled from his waist down. He was paralyzed, couldn't walk, and David said, are there not one of Jonathan's family I can show mercy to? They told him about Mephibosheth, and he did. That was love. Going back, David said, he'll eat bread at my table as long as you live. In other words, David said, I loved Saul and Jonathan that much. Sometimes we miss seeing the love that's around us, that's for us, if we're not careful by getting sidetracked. And we don't reach our potential because we can't love back until we love. Now, let me share something with you. Folks, Saul had met God. And he should have had the love of God in his heart for David if David was the played instrument for him and soothed him. All of those things. David loved him. If he had just accepted the love David had, he would have ruled a lot longer than he did. You and I can do more for God if we'll let his love help us to love one another and overlook one another's fault. We all, the people were coming out and praising David for the battle because David was a man of great value. Saul became jealous. You and I can become jealous of those that are working if we're not careful. We need to pray for them, love them in return. Not only that, not only King Saul missed his potential because of his jealousy, David had missed, Moses had missed. But then I want you to look at one that comes about where we're at. You want to look at Samson's life? Go back to Judges, the 16th chapter. Samson played with sin. And because of that, he was never the judge that God wanted him to be. He was to be, before the kings of Israel were existed, they had judges that ruled over, made decisions and so forth. Samson could have been this. He was a Nazarite by birth. His hair had never been cut, his beard had never been shaved. He began to flirt and play with sin. Anytime you begin to play with sin, you're headed for trouble. You can't reach your potential if there are things in your life that's wrong. God wants us to live that life that's consecrated to him. Samson refused to live under God's law. He wanted what he wanted when he wanted it. That's the way America is today. She's in trouble because we want to do it our way instead of God's way. I hope our leaders in our nation, somebody wakes them up. We've got some that's totally against God and everything for it. Reading an article that one even tore up the Word of God. God help our country to see that this is wrong and that we come back to God. We begin to dibble and sin, it'll take us further than we want to go. It'll cost us more than we want to pay. And I promise you it'll keep us longer than we want to stay. This mess we're in now, God could have very easily allowed this to happen. Maybe he didn't send it, but he could have allowed it to happen to us to get our attention because sin runs rampant in our land. It's an awful situation around us. Taking God out of everything. No wonder, then we want to know where God is. If they took him out of the Supreme Court, let's take it out of school, let's take it out of our homes, and take it out of all these places, and then when trouble comes, we want to know where God's at. We threw him out a long time ago. We've lost our potential, and we're like Samson. We played with sin and wanted God to continue to bless us. After a while, payday comes. After Van Zapper making his comment in his book, there's a payday coming. It may be someday, and it may be every day that we live. I believe we're reaping some of the things that we've sowed. I believe God's trying to get our attention. We can't reach our potential because sin's entered into the camp. Remember the story of Achan? When they went across the walls of Jericho fell and everything that was precious was supposed to be destroyed except in the gold and the silver, and is to be placed in the treasure of the house of God. He stole a wedge of gold and a Babylonian garment. Because of that, the children of Israel couldn't stand in the battle. They lost the battle. A little bitty nation rising up against them that they should have been able to just walk by. It was they were losing the battle. And we find Joshua praying. God told him to get up and quit praying. There's sin in the camp. A lot of times there's sin in our camp that we need to get at. In our own lives as Christians, sometimes we need to get those little things that's robbing us of our power with God so we can reach the potential God had in mind for us. When they found out what was going on, it was something so simple. Sometimes simple things. The great psalmist wrote, and Solomon, he wrote as a preacher, he wrote, and he said, it's the small foxes that spoil the great. It's the little sins that come in that rob us of our potential of serving God. Many others in the Bible. Not only that, but the rich man. If you want to look at Luke, the 16th chapter, you'll find that for he didn't die lost because he was rich. Didn't make any difference. I'm glad we have folk that have money. Nothing wrong with it when it's kept in the right place. But he put the money in the place of God, and it cost him. He rejected doing what God wanted him to. He done his own thing, and because of that, he opened his eyes, lifted his eyes. He lifted his eyes in hell. He realized he was in torment because he wanted his riches rather than Jesus. Sometimes we want our things more than we want the Lord's word. Then we wonder why we're not reaching our potential, why we're not doing what we should. Our church could be doing a lot more if you and I would reach out to touch our potential in the Word. And I'm not complaining. I mean, as a pastor, maybe the other night me and Eddie was talking, I told him I felt like I was pastoring the best church I'd ever pastored. Been to see you doing more now than you ever have since I've been the pastor. But folks, we need to do more. Not when we get a little something going. Let's work for Jesus. Let's see what things happen. I appreciate you as a church, but what more should we be doing? What more could we be accomplishing if we were reaching our potential for the Lord? Folks, I believe it's time that you and I put things aside. Put the little things that, as Paul was writing, and I think Paul was our apostle, to lay aside every sin that so easily beset us. Little things that come in our life, let's lay them aside and do our potential. Let's get our potential going. I know the Bible says if we'll come and confess our sins, God's able and faithful and just to forgive us all unrighteousness. Sometimes we need to come and say, God, I'm sorry. I've let little things come in my life that's robbing me of my joy with you. Forgive me and help me to walk with you. Help me to be the Christian I should be. And help me, Father, to reach the potential you have for me to do. I don't know what God has in mind for you to do. I know what he lays on my heart for me to do, but what he is laying on your heart is different. God may have something in mind for you, something special. God may be wanting you to do a job. I don't know what he has in mind, but boy, to reach your potential, you're going to have to get straight with God. You're going to have to be honest with God. You're going to have to walk in the manner he would have you to. If you don't, there's consequences to pay. The rich man is going to have his riches than he had God. And because of that, he was condemned. He slipped out to meet God unprepared. Died lost. You may not, but you'll never reach your potential till you turn it all over to God and let him be the first and the foremost thing in your life. Kenneth gets us a song we're going to play. What's your potential? What have you been doing? Maybe you're lost. Maybe you've never accepted Christ. You've allowed everything else to come in. You can't have no potential with God till you accept him as your personal Savior. I encourage you to do it. And folks, let's begin to reach out and do what God wants us to do. God says, come and repent. Let's repent. Let's get down to business. Repentance is nothing wrong with it. That's just telling God you're sorry and wanting your life fixed up with him. If you have a need, we're going to stand. Let's get a play. Will you come? You have a need, come. We'll pray with you. We'll meet around you. We'll pray. We'll do what God wants. You have a need. Like to come.